We're starting a channel, The Lord and the Rings. Welcome in, friend. I am Justin, and this is a brand new YouTube adventure where I hope to bring two of my absolute favorite things together. I hope it's something that you enjoy as well, which is Tolkien and Middle Earth and Jesus and the Bible and following Jesus in our Christian faith. And so this is kind of a happy crossroads. It's not the crossroads of the fallen king, but the risen king. If you know, you know. But I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I'm a pastor. And so, in my mind, bringing these two things together and seeing how these worlds collide and how the world of Tolkien can remove the veil of familiarity and give us some great insight spiritually into how we live our Christian faith. That would, to me, be so much fun. And we learn a little bit more and more about both worlds at the same time. To me, that seems like a win. That's what we're about here. And so I would love if you would right now, even as I kind of set up our video on Faramir today, write in the comments below how Tolkien has helped you out spiritually. What has been your spiritual experience of Middle Earth? Because it has to be a spiritual experience. Come on. Go ahead and do that right now as I set up Faramir, and please subscribe. I'd love to grow the company, the capital C company, the fellowship, one person at a time, if you want to kind of hop on this journey with me. But Faramir is who we want to talk about today. And Faramir, as we know, he's got to be one of our favorite characters. He is an amazing man, very gentle, very powerful, great picture of masculinity. But so just a little insight about Faramir is that he was captain of the Rangers of Ithilien. And so he spent a lot of his time fighting the bad guys on enemy occupied territory. So where the Dark Lord's warriors were in Ithilien, there you'd find Faramir. Definitely not the lesser brother to Boromir. That might be a hot take. I know he didn't get the spotlight like Boromir did. I know that despite his own father's opinion of him, I believe Faramir was superior to Boromir. Hot take? What do you think? You can write that in the comments too. But we do get a line from Faramir when he's speaking with Frodo, and maybe quick context real quick. War is raging in Middle-earth. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. It's chaos. The enemy is only gaining traction. Hope is dwindling. Boromir tries to rob Frodo of his ring in order to he wanted to use the ring and its power against Sauron. And so Frodo flees, and we know that we have Boromir's last stand where, he fights off a bunch of orcs and dies trying to protect Merry and Pippin, which I'll do a video on soon, I'm sure. But Frodo flees from Boromir and ends up running into the arms of Faramir. And they end up having this long conversation. It's this beautiful moment where Faramir actually gets very vulnerable with Frodo. And kind of in this moment, he confesses that he's tired, that he is, he's not cowardly, he's not lazy, he's just tired of fighting. He'd rather just rest. But then he has this quote, and I want it to be our focus. One more picture. Our focus of this video, and it is this. He says, war must be while we defend our lives against a destroyer who would devour all. And so I really want to kind of focus in on that, where he says war must be because we, the free people of Middle-earth, want to advance and take out everyone and be in power. No. He says war must be because Sauron exists, and he's seeking to, as a destroyer, devour all. And so that's why war must be. And I think Faramir is onto something. Here comes the mingling of two worlds. That's our posture too as Christian warriors. And that's not just a good idea. That is biblically, theologically, the way that it's presented as spiritual warfare. And that's what I wanted to show you real quick, that war must be. War exists because Sauron exists. Well, for us, war exists because Satan exists. So hop over with me to, let's go over here to Ephesians 6. It's going to pop me over to Romans because it always does that when it resets. But hey, please subscribe while I'm trying to find Ephesians chapter 6. That would be awesome. And here we are in Ephesians 6, verses 10 to 20. And we're going to get our pen working, I promise. Perfect. Yep. Yeah. Okay. This is the armor of God passage, spiritual warfare most fleshed out. And we read this, finally, be strong in the Lord. And we often miss this as Christians. We see this in Faramir, to be strong. The command, the imperative, the impetus, the thrust of this passage is to be strong. You and I must be strong as Christians. Now, the strength looks different, is sourced differently than what the world would think or how our instincts would lead us. We're to be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. That's maybe something for another time. But get this, be strong, put on. So there's two commands so far. The whole armor of God, so that anytime you see that in the Bible, that it just grammatically, big deal. Why are we to be strong? Why are we to put on the armor? So that you may be able to stand. Stay nigh. This is the central word of spiritual warfare. Why are we to be strong? Why are we to put on the armor? So that we can stand. The whole point is to stay nigh. This verb is a long, established, prolonged, defiant, resisting, standing against what? Against the schemes of who? The devil. Not Sauron, Satan. So we are to stand not even against the devil, but against his schemes, which we know there's a strong connection there. But just pause. That is the posture of war for the Christian. If you move on in the verse, I want to make sure we can see this. We see the same words here, withstand, stand firm, stand therefore, and it keeps on going. The idea, the posture of the Christian warrior is to stand. And that's what, again, I just wanted to show. And I think that Faramir shows us that war must be in Middle-earth because Sauron exists. And we want to take a break, but we can't because he is a destroyer and he will devour all. So it is with us as Christians. I know that there's a long history, maybe not a long history, but there is riddled throughout our history moments, key moments that are tragic of Christians having the wrong posture in this spiritual war where we are on the offensive in a bloodthirsty way. The Crusades are an obvious example. That is not biblical. That is not like Jesus. And that is not what we can learn from Faramir here. Our posture is to stand. It is to resist. It is to defiant. It is digging our heels in. We fight only because Satan exists. And so we fight. And we are to be strong. And we are to armor up and so forth. And yes, we have offense. We have the sword of the Spirit. 6 pieces of armor are listed out in Ephesians 6, 10 to 20. But we do have offense. We have the sword. But the posture is what Faramir shows us. Stand. And so I don't know who you need to stand for today. I don't know how Satan is attacking you today. But I just want to encourage you. War must be. And so let's fight. But let's do so in a proper posture and drawing from a proper source of strength, which is close and dependent upon Jesus. So that's the mingling of two worlds. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below what that prompt I kind of said earlier. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Bye.